In the words of Wanda Maximoff.
What are they?
I don't know why that gets me every time. What is up, Flick fans? Welcome back to the channel. If you are here, be sure to get in that comment section and let me know. Are you excited for Secret Invasion? What's the best MCU show so far? And this is one of those series that I didn't know if it was going to be as dark and gritty as I had hoped it would be, and if Nick Fury gets his just desserts. Don't worry, no spoilers in this review. I'm just going to summarize broad plot points. Set in present-day MCU, Fury learns of a clandestine invasion of Earth by a faction of shape-shifting Skrulls. He joins allies including Everett Ross, Maria Hill, and the lead Skrull himself, played by Ben Mendelsohn. Together they race against time to thwart an imminent Skrull invasion and save humanity. This is rated TV-14. Don't have the exact reasons why listed just yet, but I can tell you so far after 2 episodes, there's a bit more blood than I expected.
That's crazy.
There is one scene where someone's being interrogated, a lot more violent than I expected, and there are some nice action sequences in here that can get violent, and there's also going to be cursing, because you have Sam Jackson, you have Nick Fury, a character who is going through it in this series. It's a very personal series for Nick Fury. Now, I will say, in the first episode, he gets a lot to do-ish, but there are a lot of plot points going on, and they're kind of setting up what the main crux of the series is going to be, but they're doing that by giving us the different sides of all of the things happening. Does that make sense? No.
I am so confused.
We have a Skrull invasion. That's obvious. That's in the trailers. But how is this going to go, and how personal does it get? And what's the goal? What's the mission of the Skrulls? And where the are the Avengers? Come on, man. You know, they actually do a nice job of explaining why we're not gathering the big crew here to come in and, take out these aliens. And I do believe that limits us in terms of the shock factor of this show, because with the Skrulls, you have these shape-shifting aliens. Obviously, not everyone's going to be who they say they are. That's one thing I've really liked about the marketing so far, is they've highlighted that. But because we're not getting the big wig heroes in here, you're not going to have the opportunity to say, oh my God, Captain America was a Skrull. Yeah, they wouldn't do that. But it'd be cool.
I can do this all day.
Yeah, I know. So it's obviously going to be very different from the comics, stray away from that like we've seen from other more gritty comic book projects before. And the first one that comes to mind here is Logan. Obviously not in the MCU and different creators, but I look at Logan as an opportunity for a character that's already a bit grittier than the rest of the people that he's involved with in that universe, and to give us something that's impactful, but it's also a man who has been through it. He's reached that point to where even if he doesn't think he's going to make it any further, he still trudges on. And that's kind of where we are with Nick Fury in this series. And, my automatic comparison before the show started was Winter Soldier, because Winter Soldier is darker and grittier than other projects in the MCU, but it also has that spy espionage feel that I felt in the trailers for this show. After these first 2 episodes, I'm getting certain vibes from it that are very Winter Soldier-y when it comes to the spy factor of this show, but that's not as much of a comparison for me now. I'm going more towards Logan, and it's not going to be that dark, it's not going to be that gritty, it's TV-14. But what Nick Fury is going through here as a character, and the reveals, the more personal reveals that we get, specifically at the end of episode 2, I'm looking at it like this could be special on that level, even though there's a more broad storyline going on here, more characters, obviously, and we just get more time to flesh out more elements of this big, grand, secret invasion story. But there are moments in these first 2 episodes where Nick Fury, he's just kind of sitting back going, nobody believes in me, nobody's on my side, I'm by myself, I've been gone for a long time, people keep telling me I'm a different Nick Fury. Ever since the blip, Nick Fury has changed. It's what everybody keeps saying in this series, but does he believe that? Or is he just trying to do his own thing? Is he just trying to solve this problem and not bring in all of the other heroes because they're just going to make it more difficult? Those are the questions being posed in these first 2 episodes, and I thought that was great. But it's also the mystery of these Skrulls and kind of how they have infiltrated Earth, what their goal, what their mission is, how cool their hiding spots are, which I was like, oh yeah, that does make sense as to why they would be in those hiding spots. And they do a nice job of explaining those little details in here that are just cool, man. And it makes the show feel so drastically different from any other show in the MCU. I think the ultimate question is going to be, is this the best MCU show so far? And I'm not going to say that after the first 2 episodes. I loved Loki. WandaVision was an awesome experience from week to week. But Secret Invasion coming in and saying, we're going to keep this more grounded, more realistic, have those cool, compelling action sequences, and like I said, a bit bloodier than maybe I expected, but there really aren't that many in the grand scheme of things in the first 2 episodes. Now, first 2 episodes, it's a lot of buildup. But at the same time, I think some people are going to walk away saying, well, that wasn't really action-packed. I mean, not as much as I want it. What, Winter Soldier, Austin? And that's why I'm trying to stay a little further away from that comparison, because this is a character drama at this point. And whether you like all the storylines or not, there is room to grow and room to develop. There's still characters in here, specifically on the bad side of things, that maybe I haven't got enough of so far. Specifically, Kingsley Ben-Adir. We hear a lot about him, and the sequences that we see are a little more cliche, but I'm going to give that side time because I did get some things in episode 2 that I liked. We also have Olivia Colman in this series. She is eating up her screen time. She's having so much fun in this role. Emilia Clarke, who we've gotten a bit of, but yet another character I'm excited to learn more about. But then we have those that we know and love, like a Ben Mendelsohn. Great as always. Colby Smulders gets a little bit to do here, and Martin Freeman, as well as Don Cheadle. I actually think there's a great scene between Rhodey and Fury in episode 2, and you really get an idea as to their perspective of things. Even though I wanted a bit more Nick Fury in episode 1, you have a lot of build-up to do. Episode 2 specifically gives me an idea as to where this is going and how a lot of this is going to fall on his shoulders, and I think that is great, and I am really enjoying what we're getting from this show thus far. I think it has potential to fall in that conversation of best MCU show. I just can't quite crown it that after the first 2 episodes, especially with the lack of action, which again, I believe serves this show specifically. So as you know, I can't give it a score yet, but here are my final thoughts. After 2 episodes of Secret Invasion, it looks as if this could be a refreshing change of pace for MCU television. The character work stands out here. Understanding Fury's mentality and perspective is just as entertaining as the gritty action sequences. I can't wait for more. If you all would like to see me cover these episodes in more detail, please let me know. If not, I'll come back at the end of the season, give it a score. Comment section is your place to let me know that. Stay tuned. We have some cool reviews coming for you. Extraction 2, I just watched it, and you know what? I have some good things to say about it. I'll see you soon.